about that. So perfect. All right, friends. Beautiful. Everything's running smoothly. Super happy with this. This is great. Our numbers are just going like crazy, so it's wonderful. We're just a few minutes over, but we'll just do that. All right. Okay, I'll share my screen. And 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the future of Facebook, what marketers need to succeed in 2020. This is Mari Smith and I am your host for this free live training. I am honored that you are here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. Here we go. I'm going to share my desktop. I've got a wonderful slide deck prepared for you and we'll walk through it. And if you have questions, by all means, we are actually simultaneously broadcasting into my Social Scoop group. And so you can pop comments in there. I have my entire team are watching over there. We've got questions if you want to pop them into the Zoom. So if you wanted to put any content over onto Twitter or anywhere where hashtags are used, which is pretty much Twitter and Instagram, they're using on Facebook. They really don't make much difference on Facebook. It's one of my little pet peeves. I don't know why people put hashtags on Facebook. But for this webinar, it's hashtag future FB, alrighty? And then, as I mentioned, we are streaming live also into the Social Scoop group. If you are not a member of that, you can just do a quick search for it. Maybe one of my team can pop the link in the chat, but it is the Social Scoop group, and you can just search for it on Facebook and you'll find it there. So if you're going to join over there, obviously you don't need to be in the Zoom, but otherwise you're right here right now, and I love that you're here. And so if this is the first time you're hearing me speak or seeing me doing any live webinars or trainings, I am often referred to as the Queen of Facebook. I did not give myself that name. So that was a name given to me about a decade ago by my audience, my followers. I have been recruited by Facebook several times over the years as a contractor. I do not work for Facebook directly. I run my own independent consulting and speaking and training business. Like I say, I have been hired several times by Facebook, went on tour with the company and training small and medium-sized businesses across the US. And then I also worked with the Blueprint department, helping them with their training programs. I speak all over the world. My next country I'm coming back to is the UK. I'll be in England and Scotland in April. I'm known as a social media thought leader. I do a lot of brand ambassador work, and I care deeply about my peeps, as I say. I care deeply about my audience, my family, I call you my family. You guys are my family. And if you haven't heard me speak before, often what happens is that you go, oh, she has an accent. I call myself Scandifornian. That's a combination of Canada, Scotland, and the US. I know that's a British flag. It should be a Scottish flag. So Scottish, Canadian, Californian. And I was born in Canada and grew up in BC in a tiny, tiny little community in remote part of BC, British Columbia. And then I moved back to Scotland, with my dad when I was 12, because he was originally from Scotland. And so with that, without further ado, let's dive in. So globally, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has said for some time that big change is coming. And you know what I mean? He's been saying this for several years. But moreover, this was him on stage at Facebook's F8 Annual Developer Conference 2019. That was April 2019. And what does he mean by that? Well, there's actually hang on. Yep. Okay. Everything good? Oh, right. Okay. Yep. Thank you, team. Big changes coming. What this means? This was announced in April of last year. It's a long time coming. All of us already have the new design on our mobile devices, but this is a preview. This is a screenshot of what the new Facebook on desktop will look like. A lot of white space. Facebook has a new logo, that kind of the circle with the little, it's a different shade of blue, kind of a different font. But pointing out here that Stories, of course, is top, front, and center, which has been for a little while. You've got that similar navigation across the top, very similar to the mobile app. Groups takes more front and center spot. And then the point I want to make, though, in this slide and the next is that for the last couple of years, Facebook has said that they're actually running out, quote unquote, running out of space in the feed for ads. Call it ad inventory, running out of ad inventory. Now you can see this screenshot here. That's not a lot of space there, even just for one post. Never mind on mobile, a screenshot of mobile, right? I got a highlight around here from my friends over there at the HeartMath Institute. That's not even their full post. It's like 2/3 of their post, right? So when you scroll, because they made the stories so big, there's just very little, or even before they made the stories so big, there's just little inventory, little room to put ads in, right? So Facebook's been preparing for this time for the last couple of years, the time where they knew they would not have enough room just in the newsfeed for ads. So they had to go ahead and find new ways. So Facebook's come up with different additional placements, and those include video ads, right? Mid-roll and pre-roll. Mark Zuckerberg had said for years that he would never do pre-roll, but he had to go back on his word because now he has to do pre-roll. And stories ads, right? Many of you here participate in stories, use stories, and you'll see that there's ads in there. There's messenger ads. They've been playing around with that. There was the home screen ads, but certainly business pages can purchase what are called click to messenger ads. That's different. That's a call to action, but actually what's called sponsored ads is you can purchase the ability to message people who have been in touch with your page. And then I had WhatsApp ads, but I've struck it out there because WhatsApp ads literally just was reviewed last week. I believe that they've scratched the idea of doing ads in WhatsApp for now. They're favoring instead, they're going to go really much more into WhatsApp for business. Now, whether you're on Android or iOS, you might want to go ahead and switch over to the WhatsApp business app, and just even for testing purposes. For this next couple of slides, all I'm going to do right here, my friends, is basically, stop sharing for a quick second. It's so funny because I just got to say something in context here. It always blows me away when marketers and just even not marketers, people out there, they're like all kind of doomsday and like, oh, Facebook's like not dying, but people are leaving. That's one really bugs me when people say, oh, businesses are leaving Facebook in droves, right? Nobody's using Facebook. That's just rubbish. It's not true. Facebook's still very much growing, and there's a massively more growth to be had. Okay, so that's what the purpose of this next couple of slides here is, just to reiterate the fact that the stock certainly, which predominantly comes from ad revenue, right? And they've actually, Morgan Stanley raised its price target from 250 to 270. And so Facebook has a robust product line. This is from those investor sources there, CNBC Investors Business Daily. And significant growth runway they're talking about. Instagram stories is tremendous growth opportunity for ads, and they call it core Facebook, right, which is the main Facebook app, can drive 23% of all 2020 ad revenue growth. And then check this out, friends, $5 billion roughly of emerging ad products for next year. So that's just to give us all a sense here as advertisers, as marketers, as business users, plenty of growth, plenty of growth. Now then, switching topics, because this is kind of the most important change, where you saw that slide earlier when I said, Mark Zuckerberg said that big change is coming. And this is a slide or a picture from Mark Zuckerberg on stage at the F8 Developer Conference, where he's declaring that the future is private, right? Now, we all want to have our reasons as to why that might be the case. By the way, if you comment, I actually have a couple of prizes. I have some prizes I promised you. And those of you that are showing up live here, I'm going to actually give away a couple of prizes coming up. So that just goes to folks that comment, the commenters. Even if you just say hi, that's okay. Or you can ask a question. But my team's on standby. We're going to be giving away a couple of prizes. Okay, so March 6th, 2019, March 6th last year, Mark Zuckerberg, kind of almost like out of the blue, published a 3,200 word privacy manifesto going into why he sees that he's building a privacy focused vision for the future. He says the future of communication is going to increasingly shift to private and encrypted. See, only WhatsApp is encrypted right now, but Messenger, chats, and Instagram Direct, Zuckerberg wants to encrypt, where people can be confident what they say to each other stays secure. We would like that. There's arguments for not having it secure when obviously government for some reason needs to access. So that's a whole other sticky issue. But he says that the message and content won't, now this won't stick around forever. It's like disappearing messages and certainly stories, right? Stories as ephemeral content that disappears. That's the future that Zuckerberg is hoping. Now, you might have heard rumors about a year ago that the newsfeed was going away. Is there any truth to that? Is the newsfeed going away? Gosh, this one was freaking a lot of people out. I mean, I think it was a little bit of partly the rumor mill, but it was also partly Instagram and Facebook's fault. They actually, this was April last year, Facebook tested merging its newsfeed and stories into a single interface, and also Instagram did as well. I think it was actually late 2018. And then Adam Mosseri, who's the head of Instagram, tweeted out like, oopsie daisy, sorry friends, we didn't really mean to do that. It was just a little test that we didn't mean to make public. And I mean, love you guys, but I don't know that it was inadvertent or accidental. If you haven't seen that, what it looked like back, 9 months ago or so was, how on your phone you scroll up and down, right? You're scrolling vertically, whereas stories always scrolls horizontally back and forth. And the merged newsfeed and stories feed is horizontal, back and forth, swipe, tap, swipe, because people are used to that micro content consumption in their stories. And so I don't know if it'll ever really come to that. I kind of doubt it, but at some point I would say just, again, how does it affect marketers? Well, we've got to think in terms of like short, easily consumed content, but then also later in my slides, you'll see me talking about long form videos. So why did Zuckerberg and team do this pivot to privacy? Was it a response to all the data privacy scandals from the couple of years prior? That is my personal explanation, reasoning. Was it to knit together Facebook's messaging apps, which they're speaking about doing this interoperability, if the government allows them to? That's WhatsApp, Instagram, Direct, and Messenger. Being able to have all three of Facebook's messaging apps, be able to talk to each other. And it's like, I want to send in Messenger, but you want to receive in WhatsApp. That's the goal. So to prepare for Facebook blockchain, maybe Facebook Pay, Libra Coin, is expected to be a $19 billion market. Or is it because Zuckerberg has long had his eye on this app? And who knows what this app is? It's not necessarily a competitor to Facebook, that's for sure, but it is light years ahead of any messaging app in the world, because it's more than a messaging app. It's like the internet in one app, and it's China's WeChat. China's WeChat has entire ecosystems, hospital systems, financial systems, heat maps for seeing what's busy, and it's just extraordinary what can be done in WeChat. So this was interesting, came out last year that Business Insider said Zuckerberg is building the West's version of WeChat. In essence, he is, but not just in Facebook. That's why we have to, as marketers, as business people, we have to think of Facebook as the family of apps and services. It's not just Facebook. Also out of China, which could possibly pose some portion of a threat to Facebook, but never to like overtake or any rubbish that you see out there talking about, TikTok being a threat to Facebook. The area I believe, as a thought leader, as a marketer in this industry with 13 years of experience, I believe that the area where TikTok can pose a little bit of a threat is with that Gen Z, that younger audience, in the whole micro video, maybe so. So this is by our friends at Sensor Tower, and TikTok was the #2 most downloaded app in the world across Apple and Google. Right, so it's installed more than 738 million times in 2019, which was 44% of its all-time download. Now, I don't know about you. We talk about this on Facebook and on my personal profile. I personally deleted my TikTok account about 3 months ago and removed it from my phone But if you're having great success with TikTok, fantastic. I'm bringing it up here in the context of like, as Facebook marketers, we should probably keep an eye on it. That's about all I'm saying. Keep an eye on it. Is it ever going to be a threat? Look at this. Out of the top 5, Facebook owns 4 of them. The top 5 most downloaded apps in the world, and only one of them is not Facebook owned. Of course, Facebook tried to buy it, right? So again, thinking about Facebook as a family of apps and services. Now then, keep asking your most important questions, because we'll be picking some prize winners. And then I'm going to talk about ads. I'm going to talk about organic reach. I'm going to talk about the 4 main areas that you should be focusing on. And then also I've got an opportunity if you want to work with me. So these are the big 4. They call them, right? They call this blue. They just call this big blues, the Facebook. Then you've got Instagram, and then the 2 messaging apps, Messenger and WhatsApp. Then you've also got Facebook Watch, is the little blue icon, and Facebook Live. You've got groups, huge emphasis on groups lately. We'll talk about that a little bit more coming up. And then also Marketplace. So what the heck does the future look like? Well, let's take a peek before we go any further at what Zuckerberg just said literally a couple of days ago. Well, whatever the date is, like 10 days ago. If you don't know, every single year, Zuckerberg sets a personal challenge, starting with something really, not exactly life-changing or world-changing, was to wear a tie to work every day. But okay, fair enough, if that's a personal challenge, right? And all the way up to like his personal challenge in 2018 was to fix Facebook. Well, now he's doing away with the personal challenge, and he's going making these statements. There's 5 main key areas that Zuckerberg talked about on January 9th. I'm pulling out 2 of them to highlight for you. We're going back to this privacy conversation. Again, it's not new because he talked about it in April last year at the F8 conference. Being part, I'm just highlighting a couple of key, we're not going to read every single word, of course, but a couple of key areas here. Being part of such a large community creates its own challenges, right? There's 2.45 billion, almost 3 billion if you include all the apps, getting close to 3 billion. And he says it makes us crave intimacy. How do you feel about that, friends? Do you think that Facebook, being part of like a community of 3 billion, does it make you crave being part of a smaller community? Do you enjoy being in groups? Pop your answers in if you're watching in the group or in the Zoom. So he goes on to say, for the next decade, some of the most important social infrastructure will help us reconstruct all kinds of smaller communities to give us that sense of intimacy again. This is one of the areas of innovation I'm most excited about, right? So he said over the next 5 years, re-emphasizing private interactions, helping us build the smaller communities. Bear in mind, if you think back to what I said a little minute ago about WeChat, it's like a closed system. There's tons and tons of groups for every interest under the sun. And again, not thinking that Facebook alone could compete or be anywhere like the same as an all-in-one app like WeChat, but splitting out all the apps and services they have now, plus whatever's coming down the road, which I have a slide for you coming up in a moment to show off like what to expect in the coming year or so of developments. But anyway, I want to really focus on in a moment, you'll see what is important for today, right? As a marketer, as a business person, what exactly should you be focusing on today? So I said there was 2. That last one was a new private social platform, which is really determined to build. The second area is what he called a decentralizing opportunity. Watch this, friends. The area we're most focused on is helping small businesses. Woohoo! Rejoice! Celebrate, everybody! More than 140 million small businesses use the family of apps, right? That includes WhatsApp as well. And this part here, I think, is just mind-boggling, where he goes on to say, at the end of the day, a strong and stable economy comes from people succeeding broadly. And the best way to do that is to make it so small businesses can effectively become technology companies. I put my wow emoji there because guess what, friends? Did you know? If you're a small business owner, Facebook is thinking that you're effectively going to become a technology company. Wow, there's a lot of complexity out there. And today I want to simplify it for you. That's my goal, is to simplify it. Let's take a peek. I mentioned I was going to show you like what's coming in the far future, and then we're going to bring it right back to the present day, what you can do today, what you need to focus on, the 4 main areas. Facebook generates about 98% of its revenue from advertising, right? But they absolutely need to diversify with what they call other bets. Google does the same thing. Google has this other bets, they call it. Now, there's an NPE, you can Google it. It's called the New Product Experimentation Team. It's literally called NPE Inc., I think, or LLC from Facebook. They are working on things like mobile software. There's an app called Aux, which is a social music app, podcast listening, Bump, matchmaking for students, planning and booking travel, and an entire enterprise software, including a new version of email, newsletter platform, automatic transcription, and a version of PowerPoint based on Instagram stories. The purpose of the NPE, New Product Experimentation Team, is to build the future of Facebook. So that's an area I love to keep a close eye on. Nonetheless, let's bring it back to today. This is from a keynote that I gave at Social Media Marketing World last year, actually, you know what it was? It was literally, I think it was like the 18th or 19th. It was like days after Mark Zuckerberg announced that the future is private. Who's familiar with this book? Wonderful management book, really. It's about dealing with change really in work and in your personal life. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Lovely, cute little story about two little mice and two little people that live in a maze, and they have this abundant supply of cheese, their favorite food. But what they don't notice is that that supply of cheese is slowly whittling away, diminishing until one day it's just gone. So it's about, the book is about how, or the fable is really about how you handle change. Do you pick up and move? Do you go find new cheese? Do you make your own cheese? And in essence, that's what's happened on Facebook. Watch this. When you make a post on Facebook, on your business page, not your profile, but your business page, all of these people are not seeing your content. This is my cheese wheel. All that white represents nobody is seeing your content. It's crickets, zilch, nada. Watch that. One tiny little wee piece of cheese, between 1% and 6%. That is your average organic reach. When you make a post, out of every 100 followers or fans, only between 1 and 6 are seeing your content if you don't advertise. Ouch, that's painful, isn't it? The cheese that Facebook's moved is our audience. You keep moving. Well, where do we reach our audience now? Okay, is it video? Is it live? Is it stories? Is it groups? Is it ads? Is it and that's why people get frustrated and they just give up. It's too confusing. And so that's why you're tuning in today. I'm here to help you. You can totally be a happy little mousey, love this wee guy, chomping down on his cheese, happy. Because using my methodologies, you can get as high as 65% organic reach. What? I just told you the average was 1 to 6%, right? But it's absolutely feasible to get as much as 65% organic reach using my methodologies. First and foremost, we have to remember that Facebook, and really all social networks, no matter what online platform you use, except for your own website, your own email list, everything out there is rented land. So you want to be able to utilize these platforms to collect and own your own contacts, your own database. So it's what I call the Mari method, which I developed years ago, and it continues to be evolved and work extremely powerfully for my clients around the world. You want to start with a great piece of content, ideally video. Video absolutely gets the best reach, live if possible. Then I like to let it sit. Now, this is me, and it does work on many other pages and many people that we work with. We have ways of helping you to get more organic reach and engagement so that you can really work with the algorithms and understand them. So the reason that I like to let it sit for 1 to 24 hours after doing a live or doing a video, uploading a video, is I want to get that social proof. I want some comments and reactions. Of course, I know that they're hiding the count. They're not hiding all the engagement, but just testing, hiding the count of likes and engagements on both Instagram and Facebook. Even the video views these days, sometimes a bit hard to find because they're hiding them. But nonetheless, for doing an ad, I like to have a little social proof first. Now I'm going to promote with Ad Budget. And that means on a video, I can add what's called a CTA button, a call to action button, right? Now I'm going to put my budget in and drip feed it. I'm going to go into Ads Manager and drip feed parts of the ad budget onto that video with the call to action button with the link attached. Now there's a whole process, of course, doing the retargeting as well. Quick example here is 125,000 views. This is for our client I did a brand ambassador broadcast with last year. And then next what we do is create custom audiences. Some of you are already familiar with this, many of you are not. And it's one of the most powerful features that Facebook offers. So I can have people view even 3 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute is better, a minute of a video, and you can come back and you retarget people, website visits. You can create what's called lookalike audiences, which is so powerful. It's basically saying to Facebook, hey, go find me more people like these. You can upload a list of your email contacts of people that have purchased from you before. And you say, hey, Facebook, these are my best clients. Find me more people like that. Right? It's really, really powerful methodology. Speaking of Facebook ads, keep your questions coming and comments because we're going to be drawing some prize winners very shortly. So Facebook ads, oh my gosh, I know there's a lot of resistance out there for many marketers who've either tried, I mean, I've literally had people come up to me at events and say, Mari, I spent $10,000 on Facebook ads and I got nothing. I'm like, what? I'll never forget the time a lady came up to me at a conference. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to talk. You should never spend that amount of money if you're not getting an ROI, but you'll see, I've got some examples coming up. So, I just had to pop this one in here because it's one of my favorite little gifts that somebody made of Zuckerberg. I'm so bad. Sorry, Zach. I thought he might pop in on the webinar, but I told you, I see here he is. I mentioned that he might be popping in and joining us. So here he is. And this is when he was explaining how Facebook makes money when he was doing his congressional hearing. I want you to meet Dr. Pete. Dr. Pete is an MD, and he specializes in a withdrawal-free, pain-free 3-day detox system specifically for people that have opioid addiction. Well, guess what? Dr. Pete absolutely was not even on Facebook. He did not have a page. He wasn't even that tech savvy, social media savvy, marketing savvy. So he actually worked with my partner on this amazing process. What he wanted to do is to let people know about this new breakthrough drug detox method. And so what we did is create a brand new Facebook page. Look at this, a whopping 6 fans. 6 fans. This is why I'm showing you this little example because people got really hung up on the wrong metrics. They're looking to get more fans, more followers, grow their audience, which is a portion of it. It's a part of it. It has its place. I'm not saying don't try to grow your audience, but this is a brilliant example of how you can start with nothing. 6 fans. What my partner and Dr. Pete did is create a Facebook event initially to get licensed therapists and psychologists to give them briefings on this new drug detox method. And they just wanted to get them physically into a room in Orange County, right? So you do locally targeted. You're just trying to target with very, very specific job roles and specific areas, right? They had a $350 ad budget. Watch this, friends. So cool. They got 120 registrations, and he ended up generating $15,000 minimum out of that campaign. Remember, he had 6 fans. So you need to have a Facebook page in order to do ads. And this is really, really clever because I think on this page I have, that on the right side there, that's the actual event. That's a Facebook event. You can connect it to Eventbrite. You can do retargeting. It's very, very simple, but it's one of those areas where if you don't know how to do it, then you need some help. And so really powerful takeaways on this. The key was targeting. Remember I said licensed therapists and psychologists in the Orange County area, and it was held at UC Irvine. So the goal here is to get the right message to the right audience. How many times have you been scrolling through your Instagram or your Facebook feeds or your stories or wherever you see ads, and it's completely not targeted right? It's just completely, you're like, what? Why am I seeing that ad? That's got nothing to do with me. Well, that's the idea here, is you get the right message to the right audience like Dr. Pete did with Christopher. And shortcut the content strategy. That's a great way to do it. You measure the right sales goals, not about what Sheryl Sandberg actually calls them, proxy metrics. And is reach, engagement, video views, followers, likes. They have their place. They are important, but it's not the only metric. If that's all you focus on, then ultimately you're like, well, wait, where's your sales? You've got to have sales goals. This is a fun example here used by Ginny Adair Peterson. Thank you, Ginny. She gave me her permission to utilize this as an example. This is a really cleverly done dynamic. I'm putting this in here as just as an example of how super targeted, remember, as a right person, right message to the right audience. And she says here, this is an ad, I'll show you in a second on the right here, that appeared in her newsfeed marketing a product called Tush Baby. And so here's the ad that she saw, right? It's clearly a grandmother with a cute little baby, and it's for this little belt that you put on, and it's got like a little seat for the kid. And she says, I'm 60 and I post about grandchildren. Look at the picture by comparison on the right. That was the picture on the box when she bought it and it was shipped to her. And yet the ad was for someone who's clearly more of a grandmother age. When she says here she's 60 and she posts about grandchildren. So this is a kind of really clever targeting. See, Ginny might not have purchased it had she seen, oh, that's for new mom, that's for young moms, but she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I could see wearing one of these tush babies for carrying my grandchildren around. Super clever. All right, so I mentioned about the future is private. I know I had this slide earlier. We're going to talk about what that actually means. Here's your 4 areas. The 4 areas. Actually, there's 4 areas, 3 of which are private. All right, friends, 3 of which are private. So the first one is messaging. All right, so keep your comments coming. I am going to do a prize drawing, the first one coming up real shortly. I see all your comments and this is fantastic. I love that you're here. And I know we're streaming in the group as well. And we'll get to all your questions. Love questions. I will do my best to answer as many questions as possible toward the end. All right, friends? All right, let's dive into these 4. First off, of course, you've heard Zuckerberg say it many times over about the messaging, about the private communications, not just, of course, it's consumer to consumer, right? Not just users. This is for business. We're talking about Facebook marketing. So how can businesses use Messenger? Look at this, friends. It's extraordinary, the difference. You absolutely want to do email and Messenger. Many of you here today on the live, those of you tuning in for their replay, you absolutely know that I communicated with you through both email and for many of you through Messenger as well. Do not listen to anybody out there that says email marketing is dead. That is total rubbish. In fact, you can have a competitive edge if you focus on building your email list, nurturing, adding value, sharing great information, as well as obviously making offers and monetizing your list. So the difference here on the right, see why you want to use Messenger as well as the open rates and click-through rates. I'm pretty sure in some of my broadcasts, we got as high as 99% open rate, which is amazing. So a special shout out to Mackenzie Lieberman, Orca Marketology. I also want to give a special shout out to Carrie, Jessica Gottschalk, both of whom were doing some great work on my campaign here in with both ads and with messengers. They're super cool that you can do. This is Facebook's own screenshot. Maybe you've seen ads like this, where the call to action button is Messenger, right? So you want to keep people inside the app. Of course, it switches over and opens up Messenger, but they're on their mobile device. They don't want to really leave the Facebook family of apps. They're scrolling through and they see something is well targeted. Oh my gosh, yep, I could get that offer. You put your call to action button, and what it does is get started. It connects it to the Messenger chatbot. This isn't about talking to robots. It isn't about set and forget and being all fully automated so that you just can, sip a cocktail on the beach and your business runs itself. That might be nice, but but anyway, here's like the chat that's going on now inside of Messenger, just between Jasper's Market and this person, this Facebook's own screenshots. So really important point is at the F8 conference last April of last year, Asha Sharma, who's the director of Messenger, she took over from David Marcus, who now heads up Libra, right? So Asha got on stage immediately after Mark Zuckerberg to talk about Messenger, and they said they're rebuilding Messenger from the ground up to be the lightest, fastest messaging platform in the world. What? And also, as you can see from this slide, a modern day social network built around messaging. So friends, marketers, we have only seen the tip of the iceberg of what's possible with Messenger. They are in essence rebuilding it and having that social network around it. Again, as a marketer, keep thinking back to what I said about China's WeChat, and it's like the entire 50 or 100 apps in one. That's not where Facebook will be with one app, but they're certainly looking to emulate portions of that in many of their apps. This is the interoperability that they're hoping to do, as I mentioned earlier. WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram Direct, all fully integrated and ideally fully encrypted if they can do it. Messenger, back onto that. We will see at some point soon, again, you marketers out there that are maybe thinking about using chatbots or already using chatbots in Messenger, soon, I don't know when, I don't have any inside scoop yet, but at some point you will see the chatbot API. The API will open up for Messenger, for Instagram Direct, being able to interact with your business contacts in there through chatbot, and then also with WhatsApp at some point, WhatsApp Business. Now, what can a messenger automation do? This is just an animation on the side there. Like, imagine you were going to interact with this beauty company and you wanted to book a makeup consultation. It's just so powerful to be able to just tap and let it give you the answer that you want. So what can a chatbot do for you? Set appointments, provide important updates, like I mentioned, and many of you here today came through and found out about the webinar and got a reminder through Messenger. Generate leads, nurture relationships, build trust, offer instant customer support, and so much more. If done correctly, right? You do have to be able to step in and reply to people. There's your WhatsApp Business, as I mentioned, that you want to be able to download. That says for Android, but you've also got it available in iOS. So if you have a business outside the US in particular, and if you have clients outside the US, if you're US based, but you have clients outside the US, or you are outside the US, and WhatsApp is the #1 messaging app outside the US. So you really want to pay attention to what Facebook's doing with the business app for WhatsApp. Oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, spot prize winner. Let's see who we have. Oh, what? That's awesome. Okay, my team has been watching carefully, and what we have is what's called multi-case. It's a special kit from our friends at iOgrapher. iOgrapher, shout out to my friend Dave Basalto. Some of you might be familiar with iOgrapher. It's a fantastic mobile video gadget company in it. And in this particular kit, you get the frame, you get a little lens, you get a light, you get a tripod, a flexible tripod, a little light, a little carrying case, and it's for shooting video on the road. And our first winner is Stephanie Blackbird. Congratulations, Stephanie Blackbird. That is fantastic. Thank you. Big round of applause, virtual round of applause for Stephanie Blackbird. Really appreciate you. It's on my other screen, so I can't pull it up, but so she is a winner. We'll be in touch with how to claim your prize. I got one more coming up a little bit, so keep your comments coming. #2, private area. Remember I said of the 4 areas you want to focus on, 3 of them are private. And then I'll do a whole summary for you, and then I'm going to talk about the 5 challenges that marketers face around, specifically around Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Private groups, this is a big one. People have been talking about this for quite some time, right? So meaningful social interaction. Do you remember that now? I believe it was 2.5 years that Mark Zuckerberg and team, they were like, we're going to redesign the algorithm, the newsfeed algorithm. We're going to give priority to posts that have meaningful social interaction. So again, marketers are like, what does that mean? How many words? Is it 5 words or more? It might be 5 words or more, 5 words or more in a comment on a Facebook post. What they also love is when you have engagement, cross engagement. So fans engaging with fans, right? It's not just necessarily speaking directly with you, the content creator, but also the fans, followers, community speaking with one another. This is a saying I've had for over a decade. It's like 12 years. Content is king, but engagement is queen, and she rules the house. Yes, she does. I love engaging. I absolutely love engaging. It starts with great content. You can't just engage with nothing. You have great content, even a topic, a question, a video, a Facebook Live, an article, a good piece of content, and then you can engage. But of course, the other part of that is you've got to be able to convert that engagement into customers. So what's happening with groups? Definitely, we mentioned prominent positioning on Facebook's new design up at the top. Reach stats, you might have seen that. Some of you already have this in different countries. They might be testing it in Ireland or New Zealand or some different countries where you'll see reach stats. Boost button, I saw that come and go. And that's about it for now, but I'm sure they're going to be having more features coming on groups. On February 2nd, Facebook was going to air its first Super Bowl ad specifically for Facebook groups. Rumor has it starring Chris Rock and Sylvester Stallone. And they've also been doing it consistent for probably about 18 months or longer, maybe even 2 years now, where they did this hashtag more together, right? So Facebook's really about whatever your interest, whatever your hobbies, your passions, your focus in the world, you can find a group on Facebook to join and participate. They love creating those intimate groups. Speaking of groups, meet one of my clients, Ursula. Ursula is a top earner in a network marketing company called Zingular. It's a weight loss product. What I love about Ursula and her leadership is she is absolutely tapped deeply into the features on Facebook using a combination of groups and live, really connecting, talk about creating meaningful social interaction in an intimate community. First of all, her Be Your Best Self group is secret. It's one of those groups that's secret. That means it's private, it's unlisted, it's not visible. You don't even know about the group unless you're in it. I just updated the numbers. She has 117,000 members in her group. And that's so powerful. What she does is she'll go live regularly in the group and she talks about testimony. In fact, she even calls this her testimony group, where everybody talks about their results. They're sleeping better at night, their marriage improved, they got rid of brain fog, obviously they lost weight. You see before and after pictures. Everybody's talking about their results. And then when someone asks about the product or the opportunity, they talk to their sponsor. So really powerfully done. I want you to meet another colleague, and this one, Ursula is a client. Laura is actually a friend of one of my team. Laura, you might know Laura Doyle. She actually has many best-selling books, one of which is called The Surrendered Wife, which she calls it now The Adored Wife. And so Laura Doyle, shout out to Laura, really, really great person. She works directly with Nicole, who is also one of my team members, and helping with the campaign and everything. So what Laura did, I want to show you something in the group area. She has a group called The Adored Wife, right? Just The Adored Wife. And that's a private group. You can see it. It's linked on her page, right? So Laura Doyle is her page with 53,000 fans. And then her group has 10,000 members. Now watch this, friends. This is mind-boggling. Laura was spending $750 a day on Facebook ads for quite a long time, and she had elaborate funnels, and she said, she literally told me, she's very kind to take time to speak with me the other week there and share some of her inside stats here. And she said that she'd been through many different Facebook marketing agencies and experts and just wasn't really getting much results. Now she was breaking even, she was barely breaking even. She said that some days they'd make slightly more, sometimes they'd make slightly less, but in all, they're barely breaking even. And can you imagine that? $750 a day on Facebook ads. But guess what? She stopped them all because she discovered that organic actually was performing better. Organic was performing better for her. Can you believe it? And so one of the things she does, she only runs 2 ads right now. This is her highest, most traffic organic. She gets the most organic traffic to this blog post, Husband Not Affectionate. And so she just simply runs 2 ads. These are public facing. You can find them on her page. She does 1 ad driving people, the high organic post, blog post, and then the other one is just retargeting people to sign up for her free download. Really clever. So what can we learn from Laura in this example? Find your best performing blog post. If it's performing really well organically on your blog post, create an ad and drive more traffic to it. I have many of my clients and students and colleagues do this strategy. It's so smart because you found a winner, right? My friend Larry Kim calls it a unicorn. You've got a unicorn post, get rid of all the donkeys, the donkey posts, and focus on the unicorn post. Really clever. All right, the third of four areas is stories, and that is also private. It's so funny because we've had all of this, I wouldn't call it pushback. There's been some pushback where people, influencers, mostly influencers, who've been frustrated that Instagram is hiding the number of the count, right? They can still see it privately behind the scenes, but public facing, you can't see the total number of likes. Now, this isn't fully rolled out to everyone, but some people are getting that tested on their Instagram. And so, but I pull that up and bring that up in the context of stories because engagement on stories has always been private, always been private. So when you think about it that way, then it's like, oh, okay, fair enough. I don't see how many likes or replies someone gets on their story. Zuckerberg has been known to say also in the not too long ago. Actually, you can see it right up there. It was 2018, so that was almost 2 years, not quite 2 years ago, that he said stories are the future. Stories is not just Instagram. You'll see right on Facebook because they've really pushed it front and center, whether mobile or desktop. Facebook is determined that we will use stories, right? And stories, if you didn't know, they're actually half a billion, 500 million daily. This is not monthly. This is daily active users. This isn't people necessarily creating, but this is interacting with, engaging with stories. 500 million Facebook and Messenger, 500 million as well on Instagram, and then 500 million on the WhatsApp status. All right. So stories are growing at 15 times faster than feed content. That's a stat they've been seeing for a little while. That's why also there's been fueling that rumor about, oh my gosh, it's newsfeed going away. We'll see. I think a year from now, like throughout the rest of 2020, we're going to see some interesting iterations of what Facebook might try to do to the newsfeed and whether it's going to combine with the stories or not. We'll see. If you're not even familiar with what a story is, here I've put a whole bunch of examples on the screen here for you. It might be to repost or someone else's post, is that first one. Or the next one is just a little boomerang. Those are fun. Just make a little boomerang. One of my favorites is just to do an animated GIF and that, or add a countdown, or polls. Polls are super good. Or of course, a to-camera video, which that one is. I think I've got my volume on that one, but actually, yeah, I'll just pull it down. So to-camera video is always fun. All right, so those are stories, and they disappear after 24 hours. Instagram is Facebook's next Facebook. This is a slide. I love to put this slide in, and I've been literally saying this for about 4 years now. And Instagram has a long way to go in terms of more features and product development and monetizing, and for retail as well as products and services, B2B, B2C, so much more that Instagram will be growing. Check this out. It's one of my favorite slides in my whole deck here, friends. People love to touch their phones. They do. We do. We're a phone obsessed culture. So why not, as a marketer, as a business person, give people a reason to touch their phones? There's these cool little ones. I popped them all on this example here. There's something called the slider. You can put a different emoji there. These are on your stories. I'm going to have a training coming up soon on specifically just on stories. You can get people to ask you a question. You can do a poll, a quiz. Now then, watch this. Speaking of a quiz, the typical cell phone user, who can guess how many times a day do you think a typical cell phone user touches their phone? Typical cell phone user touches their phone 2,617 times a day. How about, you're like, wow, that's a lot, Mari, that's crazy. But what if you are, what if you're in the top 10%, what they call an extreme cell phone user? Guess what? If you're an extreme cell phone user, you're touching your phone 5,400 times a day. What? I know, that's mind boggling. I think I should count. I might be that high, I don't know, but anyway. So the fourth area, so that's stories. You want to be going all in on stories. Not all, when I say all in, it's a combination. You'll see in a moment. I'll give you the summary slide. I said 3 private areas, right? So the 3 private areas we started with Messenger, groups, stories. Those are the three primary areas Facebook's focused on for businesses as well as consumers, but for businesses as well. We're talking about marketing here today, and that are private, right? That's the privacy focused social foundation of the future that Zuckerberg's talking about. Now, switching gears, the fourth area that Facebook's still very much focused on is video. And of course, it's not private, although you can do secret videos, you can do, watch parties inside of a secret group or a private group. But Facebook is absolutely determined to become a major player in the digital streaming television arena, right? There's so much money to be made there. So one of the most popular shows is that Red Table Talk. I'll come back to that in a second. Zuckerberg has said, now you may not even know this, the whole company's mission is to bring the world closer together. Well, they have a mission statement just for video, and that is to create shared experiences and a sense of belonging through video. That's why they don't want passive. That's why they got rid of a lot of those kind of meme type videos. They want long form video, which is 3 minutes or more. They want people engaging for a minute or more. Red Table Talk, if you haven't checked it out, it's one of their most successful shows on Watch. Now then, marketers, pay attention. Oh, you're all marketers. I hope you are anyway, especially if you're in e-commerce. This was just recently, literally in the last couple of months, that Facebook quietly acquired a video commerce startup called Packaged without an E. It was also known as Unboxed. I think the product's actually called Unboxed. And it's where viewers can buy real time while somebody's streaming live on video, literally as if it's like QVC or Home Shopping Network. Also, I believe it was in Thailand last year that Facebook tested the ability to do live videos for sellers where viewers would message, they'd private message the person doing the Facebook Live, the vendor, the seller, to be able to make purchases. Now then, take a pause for a second, because I got to show you something. This was like literally a couple months ago, 2019. Look at this. This is a screenshot of a slide from my talk at Social Media Marketing World 2017, 3 years ago, where I showed the audience that you could do real-time shopping, and Facebook was testing this. This was a public page. I took these screenshots literally on the public page. So they'd go live. This was all just being tested. It was in test mode, and they had a whole team inside of Facebook assigned to do this. So they were testing like the stain-resistant jeans, and you could tap. You could see all the options, select your color, your quantity, your size, check out, and all the while the little live video was playing. That is where ultimately we're going to be getting to, which is super exciting, right? Let's talk about length of video. I did mention that. I'm just watching the time here, so I'm going to zip through these. I'll put them all up on the screen. I will send you these slides, my friends. I'll send you through the slides, and you're getting the replay as well. Short videos is 5 to 15 seconds. That's for your ad breaks. You can go a little bit longer for some different types of videos, but in-stream ads are 5 to 15 seconds. Long form is anything over 3 minutes. Live, I personally recommend about 18 to 25 minutes. Now, guess what? Facebook is suggesting that you post video on your business page minimum twice a day. What? Twice a day? That's a lot of video. Well, I asked my audience what was their biggest video challenge recently, and it starts with gear. They don't know what camera, what lighting, microphone. So it's gear, then it's confidence, feeling confident on camera. By the way, I was painfully shy as a child. I could never, ever. If you told my little 3-year-old or 5-year-old self or even 12-year-old self that I would be a public speaker and I'd be leading a webinar for 5,000 people, just would not have believed it. So differentiation, standing out, how to cut through the noise, content, knowing like what to say. But the number one video challenge is time. So I love to use time-saving tools and apps, just like many of my winners. The right tools, templates, content, the right targeting, and the right engagement, and the right strategy. These 6 areas right here are so important for getting winning results on Facebook. And so, speaking of tools, my favorite video app that I've been recommending for years is Wave. Wave.video, you can make all the different sizes. This is an example of like a Facebook Live that I did and landscape, and then I'm resizing it into 4x5 with the text top and bottom. So you can get that at Wave.video. Super awesome. Speaking of winners, we have another winner we've selected. So thank you so much for all your comments. I'm going to give you a summary in a moment, and then I'm going to show you how you can work with me, for those of you who'd like to work with me, and then I will get to all your questions. So our second winner of the Mari Smith iOgrapher case, which is not a case, it's a whole kit for your phone. We'll send you the right one, whatever your phone is. And that winner is Sabrina Espinal. Sabrina Espinal, she is our winner number 2 of the Mari Smith kit. Love it. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll be in touch with how to claim your prize. Congratulations to you. Now then, grow your business on Facebook in 2020. Here are those 4 main areas. It all starts with great content. Remember, I've always said content is king. Content is king. I think Gary Vee says context is king. Yeah, context is a big part of it too. But engaging content, ideally focusing on video, live if you can, but recorded is just fine. Really do your best to embrace stories, to start digging into stories. I will do a training on that coming up, just on stories. I've had a lot of requests for that. Really want to be looking into messenger marketing. I use ManyChat. I'm also really good friends with Larry Kim, the founder of Mobile Monkey. I've used both. Both are great. That's mobilemonkey.com or manychat.com. And then definitely, so many people ask me about groups. How do I monetize groups? How do I grow groups? And you'll see, many of you here are in my Social Scoop group, and I just rebranded that recently. We think we just grown by like 1,500 members in the last like 2 weeks, which is epic. So I mentioned that I had done a survey. We did a survey with about 2,000 folks responded, and I asked you, when it comes to making money on Facebook, what's your biggest challenge, Facebook or Instagram? And so these were the top 5. Content, knowing what to say, crafting a compelling message, a piece of content that stops people scrolling. Now, I've already covered a fair bit about video. Video is a big one there. Audience was one, finding my ideal target audience, right? That's a big one, which you can do inside of ads for sure. Reach, of course, so many folks here having to deal with low organic reach. Who can't relate to that? Oh my gosh. Conversion, going from engagement to buy, that was a big one. It was amazing how many people were asking me about that. And then changes, adapting to constant updates. So those are 5 top areas. I do have a special report on that. It's like 15 pages. Many of you have already read it, which is wonderful. And I'm going to have that in the group soon. So what can you do now? I love this little GIF in here. I've overloaded you. I've given you the 4 main areas. The future of Facebook is very, very certain. It's not going anywhere. It's going to get bigger, but it's definitely gotten more complex and more frustrating, more confusing for marketers. And I want to make it simple. The thing is, yeah, technology is moving at warp speed. This is another one of my sayings. Fundamentally, us humans haven't changed that much. We want to belong. We want to know we matter. We're important. You run a business. You want to be able to generate leads and sales. And you want to do it in a way that doesn't give you a big fat headache, right? So that's why I put together my 2020 Facebook Marketing Essentials. And you can get that at marismith.com/FB Essentials. We'll pop that link in the group there. If my team could pop it into the chat, that would be great. So it's just marismith.com/FB Essentials. And so actually I'll pull that up in a second here. Go over here and pull it up for you. And then I've got a couple more slides. Whoops, that's the webinar page. You've already come to that one. Not that one. Put the right page up. Come over back to that in a moment. So this is a brand new online training program, and I really, really want to help you. I want to make this so easy. If you're feeling frustrated and challenged, maybe you're squeezed for time, you're just exasperated with trying to get results, and you want simple. You're looking for simple, measurable, real, solid results. I've got a structured step-by-step. It's 6 weeks. We're going to give you live support. It's not self-study. You're going to get live support, live coaching. So I'm taking you, let's call it back to basics. You get support and accountability. There's a Facebook group. I have 2 different levels for you. There's group coaching, but there's also, you can get one-on-one support. You can get your own work with your own Facebook ads coach, your own social media marketing coach. And we've only got a limited number of spots with that. So You're going to learn the best organic and paid content strategies, how to clarify your most compelling offer, something we get asked about all the time in my company, defining your best audience, how to reach them. We will be covering ads as well for your highest conversion. This is a somewhat beginner to intermediate. It's not super duper advanced. I will also talk about how to set up your whole camera and your gear and your lighting, how to do great Facebook Lives, how to grow your group, how to monetize your group, how to integrate a chat bot. All of that is going to be in this program. And as I mentioned, we do have this upgrade option where you can get this one-on-one coaching. So over here, you'll see it. We do have a special, $250 off of the gold package when you order by midnight Pacific on Friday, the 24th. Otherwise, the price will be going up then. And then I just wanted to point out what you get in this is, so you're getting a whole library of video tutorials, but also in the Facebook group, you're getting 12 live sessions with me. First, there's going to be watch parties, where if you haven't done a watch party, it's another awesome thing you can do in a group. And then we're actually going to be studying the video content as a great way to give yourself accountability, community support. It's amazing, amazing. I have an amazing community. And then we'll do live group coaching sessions where you'll have spot coaching, hot seats, critiques, member pages. We'll look at your groups, your ads, make some recommendations for improvement. That's group coaching. All right, so we're going to go through 6 weeks together. It officially starts on February 11th. I'll do an orientation on February 3rd. All the dates and information are here. We've got a super duper special for you to save $250 off. By the end of the program, Facebook Marketing Essentials, you will be able to clearly identify your most important customers, understand how to research and build optimized Facebook audiences for your organic content and your ads, craft compelling offers that resonate with your audience, convert them into buyers. I'm going to teach in depth the Mari method, how to leverage the ideal balance of organic and promoted content, create social media KPIs, that's your key performance indicators that relate directly. Remember, I mentioned a couple of times throughout today about proxy metrics and about growing your audience, growing your followers, engagement metrics. That's good. Those are good, and you need those as a precursor to leads, sales, and customer acquisition metrics. And significant improvement in your lead generation, your sales. Bottom line is, I want to help you make more money. That's it. It's 100% money back guaranteed. So if you are the kind of person that you're like, oh my God, Mari, just give me one-on-one help. I want to work with someone privately. I want someone to look over my shoulder. I want a guide by my side. I want a co-pilot. This upgrade is for you. The upgrade option is absolutely for you. And you're going to get professional input on maximizing all your campaigns. We're going to look at your whole end-to-end funnel. All right. So we have worked with, I'm saying we, my team and I have worked with so many customers in this program, with the one-on-one support for so long, that it's quite extraordinary what happens, that people will literally achieve, I'm trying to pull up my chat and paste the link in there at the same time. Thanks, guys. 10x, that's the point I was trying to make there. 2x to 10x the investment. Absolutely amazing. So our gold, the live group coaching is $747. You can start today for just $385. If you want to make 2 payments, $385 is a super deal. We're going to work with you very, very closely over 12 live sessions in the group, or you can go ahead and choose. You get everything in gold, or you can go with platinum and get the upgrade to have your own Facebook marketing co-pilot. Senior member of my team will work closely with you side by side, review your campaigns, help you craft your effective Facebook ads and more. This is so powerful. We have helped companies to literally 10x their results as a result of doing this one-on-one service. All right, so I've got the schedule there, but do not let the date stop you. Everything will be recorded and available for you. There'll always be replays. And come on in. We've got the gold or the platinum available for you, and made the price as affordable as possible. This gold package is normally $997. I'm taking $250 off when you go ahead and grab that before Friday night. All right. Oh, and I also wanted to draw your attention because I think this is really important. I like to point out, like, okay, well, Mari, is this program for me? And I know you might have some questions about the program, and I'm going to get to those in just a second. So if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, you want to really ramp up your Facebook marketing results, get going immediately, that's for you. Maybe you're a personality-based brand, speaker, an author, trainer, consultant. Maybe you're a marketing manager at a company or an independent professional. You're looking to really create, as I call it, superstar success using Facebook. Maybe you're a social media manager, a VA, possibly even. And I'm saying even because a lot of virtual assistants do tremendous social media marketing support for their clients. Or if you're just generally feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, and like you can never keep up with Facebook's changes, you want a fresh approach, then this is for you. All right. So take a look at that. And I do have a full money back guarantee, as I say. Love to work with you. My team and I are literally on standby, waiting to work with you. I've worked with major brands all over the world, including Facebook, as Forbes says. Even Facebook asked for my help. And I really have my finger on the pulse. As my friend Mike Stelzner, I love to include this nugget from him. He's the founder of Social Media Examiner and a longtime friend of mine. I actually helped him to start Social Media Examiner as one of his fire starters. And he said, you know, if there's anyone on the planet who can help you build a business using Facebook, it's Mari Smith. Her early Facebook coaching was instrumental in helping Social Media Examiner become a multi-million-dollar business. She studies the hidden gems of Facebook like no one else. She's also the first person I call if I need Facebook advice. Let me tell you, we speak often. So I want to put your name up here in lights after we've worked together and I've helped you. So come on over, marismith.com/FB Essentials. Be one of the first to come in, and we have got some great special bonuses for you. And I'm going to go ahead and give you that report, as I mentioned, that the 5 ways that people are struggling to get results on Facebook. We'll get you that, and you've got some video bonuses as well that you can get started right away when you go ahead and join us. So, my goodness, wowie zowie. Thank you so much, friends. Now I'm going to jump over and get to the questions because I love Q&A. I love Q&A, and I often will say there's no question that you can't ask me that I won't know the answer to. And I don't say that from a place of like, oh, I know everything, because I don't. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out for you. So really love it. Oh, I'm loving all your comments. Thank you so much, friends. Yeah, this is great. So, and I know my team has got some questions for me. I see those over there, and I also see them Q&A as well. Great, beautiful. All right, so let's see. Okay. Oh, so Karen has a great question. She says, in order for a video to be effective, do you have to be in the video? In other words, to camera. That's called to camera, right? So you're presenting to the camera. It literally just depends. It depends. And what you're going to have to do with that, this is really important for many folks, is you have to test. Just test it, right? So you might try one with you in it. And if it doesn't, you don't get as good results, then you try something else. Katrina in the house. Hi, Katrina. Katrina Sawa. She says, what's up with scheduling posts via third-party apps? Oh, she says, good or not good. I love this question, Katrina. So this is something that's come up for many years around, you know, does it make a difference? Does it lower your organic reach when you schedule through a third-party app? That was the case. I'm not kidding. I want to say around 2010, 11, 12, 13, maybe all the way up to 2015. I know I wrote a blog post about it myself some time ago, but now I'm positive it doesn't make a difference. Nonetheless, Facebook has put in a lot of effort into their Creator Studio. So if you can use Creator Studio, all the better, and for scheduling on Facebook and Instagram. But no, I use third-party apps too. I use Agorapulse for my Twitter, but I do use Creator Studio for Facebook, and I really like that. I like it. It's very powerful. It works really well also on Instagram. I really like it for Instagram. All right, so online technology real estate coach. So that's a page in our group. She says, or she or he, I'm not sure who this person is, but I found that groups are losing on their interaction. Is this a true assessment? So I'm curious what other folks have found here. Feel free to let me know in the comments. If you've been running a Facebook group, is it losing traction? Now, my own group, the Social Scoop, is a great example of uh, how to re-energize a group, right? Because I had about 6,000 members. It was called Mari Smith's Leading Entrepreneurs for about 3 years, and it was ongoing. We had great interaction in there, daily interaction, and then we recently breathed even more new life into it because I changed the name to Social Scoop because I wanted to include uh, people who maybe didn't consider themselves an entrepreneur. Maybe you work for a company, you're an employee or a social media manager or something like that. So, but anyway, Social Scoop's a name I've had for a while. So the answer to that question is I don't think so. I don't think that groups are losing their interaction. I think what's happening is people's time is getting more stretched, where they're having to be more discerning about where they spend time. And I'm in some groups that, as a participant, where they are absolutely super duper active, super active. Yeah, that's great. Darren saying, what about reposting other content in between your own? Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of what's called OPC, is other people's content. My Twitter, if you look at my Twitter, it's so much of my tweets are what's called OPC, other people's content. Jen is saying she's in a group that has thousands of people, and yet 24 are active. Yeah, it just depends. And I think what's important is to two things. If you have a group, I would go live, maybe strive for once or twice a month. I mean, more if you can, but live is going to make a difference. And have moderators, have assigned moderators. I have the wonderful Adair, who's in Australia. Many of you know Juan Felix was my Facebook moderator for like 6 or 7 years, and he was amazing. And he moved on and pursued a different career. But it's really important to have group moderators, people that will help you to really interact and engage, and so that people know when they post a question, they're going to get an answer. Yeah, there's a comment here saying groups take work, but so does all of social media. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's see a couple of questions. Yeah, so Sandy is saying, am I saying that live has better reach than a video post? So Facebook Live broadcasts, while they're live, have 6 times the engagement than a regular video. But both video and live get the best reach. So live gets more engagement, but both live and video, and both live and and they call it VOD, is video on demand, is really going to be dependent upon your own test as to whether one is doing significantly better than the other. I know for me, my lives on my Facebook page typically get more reach and certainly more engagement while I'm saying while it's like a bell-shaped curve, right? It goes up, then the live stops and it keeps going up, up, and then it'll plateau a little bit, and then it stays way high, and then after a while it'll taper off. And so great. A question on my thoughts. I just saw a question. My thoughts on IGTV. It's so funny. I just posted on my Instagram about IGTV that they're moving the button. They're taking the button away because apparently only 1% of all billion Instagram users had even downloaded the separate IGTV Instagram television app. But it's still around. It's going to be going. It's going to be going. Oh yeah. So a comment about Facebook Premiere. So Sandy's question about whether recorded video gets better reach versus live. There are 2 other features that you can utilize. There's 3 video features that you can use on your business page that will help you to increase the reach of your recorded videos. So one's called Premiere. You guys have probably seen Premiere, where it's like showing, and YouTube has it as well, right? So you broadcasting a video as if it's live. Another is called New Release. I don't think every page has it, but New Release, again, broadcasts it right away as if it's live. A Premiere you can schedule. And then the third one is watch parties. I love watch parties, and that's why I've made them an integral part of the Facebook Marketing Essentials course. So I'm actually going to demonstrate, I'm going to show you how to absolutely maximize Facebook watch parties. And I also feel that this is a great way with watch parties that you can it's so funny because my brain tries to do multiple things at once. I'll share my screen and pause it. I'll go over here. The watch parties is going to be a very important part, and you'll see what's really cool about watch parties is you can do, let's say that you had a regular show. This is something that I really I'm bringing on this year myself as well. If you go live regularly on your Facebook page, maybe once a week or every other week, and then you have a private group where you go deeper for discussion. You can host watch parties from the videos that you've already hosted on your page. With Red Table Talk. Remember I said Red Table Talk was Facebook's most successful show on their watch platform. And you'll see they have a companion group. And that companion group is very, very active. I think they even get ideas for their shows, or they certainly have lots of Q&A. It's very active. So having a companion group is good. Oh, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. She's asking, do I think there'll be ads in groups? I do think there'll be ads in groups. Rumor has it, this has been a rumor for about a year now. I'm positive that Facebook's working on it behind the scenes. We will be able to advertise our group. So to promote like that join group button that's on your Facebook page, wouldn't that be awesome? So that's something I know Facebook's working on, is the ability to pay to promote your group and get more group members. So that's a good one. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's great. Okay, thank you. Thanks, team. Good. All right, friends. Kristen's asking me to make a short video saying stop with the hashtags on Facebook. That's funny. Yeah, I know, right? I hear you. But you know what a lot of people tend to do is that they have their cross-posting, right? They're cross-posting their content over from Instagram, which I don't mind. I'm a big fan of doing that. I cross-post, but actually not on my wall, just my stories. I only do it with my stories. That's great. That's fabulous. Congratulations for those of you choosing to work with us. It's going to be so powerful. I can't wait to start and dive in for this program, because the only way to learn is to get training. I mean, you can try, you can struggle on your own, you can waste money testing your ads and getting frustrated and tearing your hair out. Many of you saw my video with me tearing my hair out, and you could relate. But this is going to be such a powerful experience to come on in and walk through. Like I say, we're going back to basics. This is the fundamentals of Facebook marketing essentials. So many marketers out there, including even Facebook, the company, has made it so confusing. It's so difficult to keep up. And so now I'm making it as simple as possible and step by step, so that you'll be able to get the results that you want. Actually, that's my tagline for this whole course, is that you want to go grow your business using Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. We are going to cover chatbots to get real measurable results. In other words, the bottom line is to help you get more money, to grow your business, to get more leads and sales. Those are the metrics that I want you to be focusing on. And you want to be focusing on. We'll take a couple more questions. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Yeah, then you got the good old Facebook jail. Yeah, there'll be a replay. I'll send you the replay. Yeah, stories are always the most recent from the user when they last logged in. That's correct. Yeah. Oh no, I like Sue. To be clear, hashtags have their place on Twitter and Instagram. Hashtags don't make much difference on Facebook, was my point. But what my point is that you'll see posts with 25 hashtags. I don't mind a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 is fine, no big deal. Especially sometimes when they're funny hashtags, it can add to the meaning of the post. But a post that has 25 hashtags on Facebook, it's just doesn't really do anything. Great. Yeah, exactly. These are great comments, great questions. All right, friends, a couple more. Oh, Olivia. Hi, Olivia. She says, can you use ads to get clients as a VA, a virtual assistant? Oh my gosh, 100%. You know, when I read your question there, Olivia, the first thing that flashed through my mind is like, okay, I'm a busy business owner. I have a whole team, and they're all virtual. I have a couple local folks here, but most of my team is all over the country and the world. And I would imagine that you could do an ad that would be like, are you a busy entrepreneur and you're trying to do everything yourself? Here's, download my report, the 25 things you should be delegating to a superstar VA like me. And then you get them on your list, or then you could actually have them, you could send them over to Messenger and have them book an appointment with you, a little 15-minute assessment call, or you could have them fill out a form to see like something like that. But yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful time in business for VAs. Plenty of work. Arthur's asking, are we able to run Facebook ads for a free giveaway contest? So long as it's all fully compliant with the, Facebook's terms, the contest terms, you got the right disclaimers, all the legal stuff, then yeah, you can do that. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, she's asking about my course starting in February. At the moment, she's asking will be run again at a later date during the year. You really want to jump in now if you can, for sure. We haven't confirmed or committed to other dates. So right now it's starting February 11th for 6 weeks. Great questions. Oh, Jennifer's asking, do lives ever end up in watch, or is it watch a different process? They do. Now, Jennifer, back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, like 2 years ago, Facebook made business page owners have to apply to get what was called a show page. You had to get a show page, and then your show page would show up in the Facebook Watch platform. But now all videos do. Invariably, I don't even realize I'm watching a video in Watch, and then because then it's like got that, especially on mobile, right? Because it has like the black player, dark mode, I suppose it's called. Cheryl's asking, can you monetize a group? Oh my gosh, 100%. I have got so much to teach. I could literally do an entire course just on groups, on how to start a group, run a group, grow a group, monetize a group. And I've been doing this for years, like a decade. And so you absolutely can monetize a group. And there's so many different ways, from subscriptions to masterminds to courses to events, lots and lots of ways you can monetize a group without having to use like Facebook's subscription feature. If you see Facebook pushing you to sign up for the subscriptions on your page, keep in mind they're going to take like 30% of the money. At first it was free, and now it's like they're going to charge you 30%. Monkeys. Oh, hi, Jennifer Zarilla. She's asking any word on thoughts of when the package will be rolled out to Facebook. So package, those of you that remember, that says package without an E, the unboxed. Facebook quietly purchased the company that was doing this live, its ability to do live video combined with real-time purchasing, which is so exciting. And like I say, Facebook's been testing behind the scenes since 2017. What's taking them so long? So I don't know for certain, Jennifer. I don't have any specific dates on that, but I will be watching just as closely as everyone else. I'll keep you posted. I hope it rolls out real soon. Tamara is asking, do you need 10,000 followers on Instagram to have the swipe up? Yes, you do. You do. She says, or do you know a way you can put a link in or use a swipe up function without followers? Yeah, I'm positive that that's still the case. You need the 10K Instagram followers, but the workaround is to do video on IGTV, and in your description in the comments, the links are clickable. The links are active. So because you can add an IGTV post to your stories. Okie dokie. Yep, lots and lots of folks asking about replays. We'll send this out too. Cheryl's asking about size of video. Oh, I love this question, size of video. And she says I've been doing the square. So the best size video, not non-live, live mobile is portrait. In fact, one of my Barry the other day told me that he went to try to use his phone to broadcast in landscape, and Facebook wouldn't even let him. It forced him to go portrait. But it is better portrait according to Facebook. But when you're broadcasting using a third-party app, I have a whole variety of different apps. Remember, as part of my Facebook Marketing Essentials course, is I'm actually going to teach you how to set up your own home studio. Many of you, I know many of you have been asking, I saw comments in there and asking me what camera, what setup. If I move out of focus, make sure I move everything, watch this, I'm going to move out of focus. And there, see my flowers, my book, my outside, my window, my bird feeder. This is a DSLR camera, so a DSLR with a good lens and good lighting, and you can be backlit. It doesn't matter if you're backlit when you have good lighting in front. So you can do this kind of broadcast on Facebook Live using really high quality cameras. It doesn't have to be super expensive. We've got a whole system that I teach, and I'll be putting that in my course. And even also, you can see I've been broadcasting for almost 90 minutes now using, because people are like, how's she doing that? Because I thought it cut off at 30 minutes. There's ways to do that. There's technology, and I've made it super simple for you. But back to the dimensions for video, non-recorded, non-live, when you're making video, right, you're editing video, you can use that Wave platform that I mentioned, is vertical video, and not just 9:16, which is like the phone format. This, fully vertical is that we call it immersive. It's very immersive, the full screen, but what's called 4:5. 4:5. If I go into this and take my slides, and I'm going to go zippity zip right to where I had my screenshot of Wave. There you go. Put this slide back up for you. This size. This is one of the best performing video sizes on Facebook. It's called 4:5 vertical. You've also got 2:3. I would experiment with a 2:3 vertical, but 4:5, you've probably seen them a lot, where often it's black. It's a black bar at the top, and you see text top and bottom. That one works really well. Square, absolutely every day, all day on Instagram, the Instagram feed. IGTV, you can do the 9:16 or 16:9, right, horizontal. So great. That's amazing. There's actually almost 600 people are still tuning in live right now. It's amazing. I know I want to hang out with you for the whole day, just answer all your questions. But I'm going to press the pause button now, because it's time for go back over there. I want to go and connect with everybody who's joining this program. I'm so looking forward to working with you and helping you over the coming weeks to maximize your results on Facebook and Instagram and Messenger, right? So we're covering groups, we're covering video, we're covering a little bit of stories, organic and ads, post frequency. Just looking at some other questions here. Yep, chatbots, limited budget. Even you don't need a big budget. I'm going to focus quite a bit on organic. That's one of my favorite things to do. Excuse me, is to teach the organic methods that I've been using for years, and really looking for a simple system. Remember, you get live coaching. This isn't just you buy it and then you're on your own. We want you to come on in and get that support and accountability. I'm going to be demonstrating all of the latest, most effective ways that you can use Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. And there's really nobody more qualified than myself. And that's a humble brag. I'm not one to blow my own trumpet, but I tell you, I've been doing this a long time, since 2007, May of 2007. That's why they call me the Facebook Queen, because I know a lot about Facebook and I get results for my clients. I would love to help you to 10x your results in 2020 and beyond. My friends, love you, love all your questions. Please keep them coming. If I can be of any help, let me know. And I'll check the questions after the fact as well, you bet. Awesome. With that, my friends, from my heart to yours, thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you in the program, Facebook Marketing Essentials. That's marysmith.com/FB Essentials. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye for now.